morning and welcome.
Morning with Karen and Bob. And so just explain just briefly before we go into what kind of house are we stepping into?
This is an alternatively built house. We built it ourselves, me and her. It's a lot of different techniques together. It's straw bale, one wall, cob on the lower walls,
And then
besides the back, and then
this point
the upper
up,
part is slip straw in forms, and then just basic plaster over it.
and we're actually switching our plaster. We used a plaster that involved concrete, and this is going on year 5, and it was sufficient, but it wasn't perfect. This is a new plaster. It's lime plaster, and it's holding up much better, and it looks better, and it adheres better to the cob. So we're switching over wall by wall.
Nice.
And picking it off, and the other plaster lifted, and you could just bang on it and big sheets would fall off.
Oh no.
So that was our impetus to get this going. And
Cool.
so we've got this wall done, and then we'll go over to the west wall and do that, because the two walls take the most horizontal rain that we get during the rainy season.
Okay.
We have a very explicitly harsh rainy season sometimes with blowing winds and rain.
So the house is about 600 square feet,
Yes,
and it's completely off the grid, right?
Yes, yeah.
Off
we're
the grid.
Electrically off the grid. We have our own well. I started it in October of 2010, and we finished, a year and 9 months later. We moved into it in June of 2012.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
In this sun, in this climate, there's always things that need to be done. Like you can see, this wood needs to be restained right here, because these boards were treated, because the sun is very potent here.
It certainly is.
We use some very basic principles of passive solar design. Having a lot of windows on the south side and facing south, just a little to the east, south, so that in the winter you have the low sun coming in, and then in summer
This one is high.
it's high and the overhangs.
Awesome. All right, let's go inside and check it out.
One thing that we did, and we did it on purpose, is everything that you see in the house.
You can come on in.
Come on, Lou, get in here. Come
Or you guys can go out. Okay.
That's even better. One thing that we did on purpose is everything that you see in the house was either secondhand on Craigslist, gifted to us by other people. We went into a couple houses in Bisbee that were being rebuilt to get our toilet, our bathroom sink. This came from the dump, this came from the dump, this came from the dump.
Yeah.
They were in a mangled heap, and we redid them because I desperately wanted a sink like that. And
Yeah,
so,
that's a really cool sink.
We did buy a refrigerator, man.
the only thing in the house that was bought brand new was the refrigerator, and that's because it's an energy efficient one that works well with our solar package.
Amazing.
But our couch was at the end of somebody's driveway.
Yeah.
The stove was $75 on Craigslist. We made a real effort to recycle as much as we could. When we go into the bathroom, all the tin used on the roof was out in somebody's back 40 and
On the walls.
on the walls, and all the windows were out in somebody's pasture shed.
Yeah.
And so there's
So
a lot
cool.
of that.
These bottles were from one of our good friends who passed away from cancer, and he had all these bottles, neat blue bottles saved up, and
So cool.
he gave them to us before he passed.
Yeah.
So we
And the bathroom wall that you'll see when we go into the bathroom into the
those
shower.
are his bottles too.
But
He was quite a drinker.
dedicated to,
He was quite a drinker. You like the blue bottles, so.
yeah. That's Jack's wall.
And it's just a basic 600 square feet, 20 by 30, and the only thing that's really walled off is the bathroom, and then the bedroom is just kind of a partition thing.
Right.
But everything else is just an open design, and all the plumbing is in this wall. It's a kind of a hollow wall where it drains for the kitchen, and the water comes in there, and then it goes to the bathroom and to the kitchen.
Perfect.
So it's just as simple as I could possibly make it.
Exactly.
So I actually have a chance of doing it.
Exactly. Single sloping shed roof. makes it a lot easier
Yeah, and
for
then
building.
porch off
And,
the front.
Our only
Perfect.
source of heat is the wood stove. Our only source of cooling are the two fans, two ceiling fans. It stays, but we can get temperatures up to 106 sometimes, and we're a good 15
It'll be,
degrees
yeah, it'll be
below.
85, or,
And
Yeah.
it's,
you know,
it's
depending
not.
on how many days in a row.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
we wanted to, we could use a swamp cooler as well, but neither of us feel the need to do that. We just use the fans and slow
Perfect.
down on hot days.
all right, let's see the bathroom here.
Bathroom.
So living off the grid doesn't mean that you have to shit into into a bucket.
Yeah, there's
We have a
no-
septic tank, and
Yeah,
and we got the plumbing. I mean, it's all
yeah. It's a fully functioning
Real.
toilet. I can attest to that. So
Which was repossessed from being junked into the landfill. We got
Yeah.
that. This is the wall I was talking about that's dedicated to Jack, and the way to make the bottles work is we took a mason jar and put a wine bottle in, put flashing around, and then you just lay them like bricks. And you put them right in your wall just like you'd
So
be
cool.
stacking bricks. And then this is just local rocks stuck on there with quickset.
nice.
And there's little things in here that mean different things. Some of these are from friends that have passed on and given us,
Yeah.
you know, different little trinkets that are stuck in here. But the design is something that we got out of our Mexico travels. A lot of the showers are like this without the nasty shower curtains. So this
Very
is the
nice.
tin that I was talking about
Right.
that we reclaimed from somebody's stack outside.
Cool. That's awesome.
And these two pieces of furniture, we built those out of wood that was just laying on the property out like garbage. People had thrown
Right.
garbage, and so we
rustic wood.
this was totally just junk and garage sale, and this we refurbished, and then I just did the
Nice.
decorative pieces on it.
Then we got the bedroom.
And here you can really see where our slip straw wall starts from here up. It's
Right.
solid cob. It's 16 inches at the bottom, tapering up to this point of 12 inches thick. You can see our truth window over there showing the
Yeah, this is the
straw
straw bale wall.
And that's our north wall, and that's because it's an insulating wall.
Yeah.
We don't put any, sun would never come into windows on that wall, so we
Right.
don't do that.
And then this back area is just basically storage
Yeah.
or
This
stuff. We're kind of minimalist, so we don't have a lot of stuff. So this
Yeah.
does
That's-
totally well.
Meets everything that you need. So
Yeah, it
Why would you
just-
need
Not
any more?
hoarders. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not. No.
For us,
That's awesome.
before this, we've lived in travel trailers and done a lot of traveling, and I think our largest travel trailer was 22 feet. We lived on Bob's 31-foot sailboat for a while, so 600 feet is huge to us.
Right.
I mean, we can actually pass each other in the hallways and move around, so it feels very spacious. You get more of that spacious feeling because of the high ceiling slanting off to the south.
Right.
And that was the reason for these two windows. They bring in more light and heat.
So what was like the main motivation for building a house like this? What did you want to like stay out of and
We
do for your
wanted
life?
to-
mortgage,
No debt.
No
Yeah.
debt.
No debt.
Right.
We did this all on money saved, and as we ran out of money saved, we slowed down our process a little bit, and we waited. We have never gone one dime in debt for this house.
Right. And I
We
noticed you don't
actually
have.
sold off half of our land. We had 60 acres originally, and we sold off 30 of it. So
Right.
that
Finished our
kept us
project.
Right.
finishing.
So when all was said and done, you didn't actually end up paying that much for the house itself, but for the house and for the solar system and the well, it was approximately how much? About 29 or 30,000.
Yeah, around 28 to 30.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was the mandatory regulations in this area to have a septic tank.
Right.
Our well is 320 feet.
Yeah.
Case two,
Case to 320. I
Okay.
think it's actually 380 or something.
380 case.
But the water
Okay.
level's at about 150,
Mm-hmm.
and the pump's down about 220. So
Okay.
And at the time that we dug our well, it was $22 a cased foot. And so the well came in right at about $6,000 with everything
Right.
the pump and everything in there, ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know if that included the solar that we had.
Not the solar panels, but the pump is it.
All right, so we'll definitely go check out the solar system and the well, because I'm sure people would want to see that as well. So if you have any advice for people, what would your advice be if they wanted to do something similar to this?
Well, to keep it simple and to not go in debt to do it. Don't do anything that puts you in debt, because
We've met a lot of people that try to do this and they're all, oh, I have to have 2,000-3,000 square feet, and they aim too high, and then it gets so overwhelming that they either get divorced or they or they just quit. It's just like a constant. We know one lady that has a house that's so big, it's just a constant. By the time she gets it all done, then
something
she
else
has to
is
maintain it, and it's just
Right.
too big. Keep it as small as you can handle it.
you can always add on. You can always build other
We can build little
outbuildings.
buildings outside if we
Right.
want.
Yeah,
or-
you can always
For sure.
add, and there's ways to do these houses where you can actually, you know, like add a bedroom later or something if,
Yeah.
if your family grows or whatever, you know, your
Yeah, there's ways you
motivation
can
is.
build with that in mind and for expansion.
And one other choice that you guys have made is that you don't have any children.
No children,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
I'll save you a little.
You have some fur babies.
A
few fur
we got
babies,
our
but-
two fur babies, and
Yeah.
that's all we need. Enough children in the world.
Yeah.
If you have the urge for children, there's children who need homes. I'm an adopted person, and I'm
Yeah.
grateful every day for it. I just feel that you can do so much more and
Yeah.
go so many more places and have a lot of different experiences. But yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Outside of your children. right?
outside,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Okay, let's go and check the solar system.
Okay, let's go to it. Oh, let's go.
People in fur coats.
You might wanna-
So still a lot of space, like for two people to live comfortably, like
Very comfortable.
very comfortable.
Easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
you will get so many people asking you questions.
Really?
You have
Oh,
no
that's
idea.
just so
Yeah.
cool.
So this is the solar shaft, we can call it.
Show the front to your panel.
Yeah, the panels are up top there, but just a very simple solar system.
Yeah, you got batteries in here. 12 golf cart batteries, 6 volt.
Yeah.
It's a 24 volt system that runs a charge controller. And then to the batteries, inverter. We got a lot of this equipment, these two inverters, charge controller, and some other
Yeah.
stuff off the straw bale network for like really cheap. So that cut a lot of our expenses. This isn't
Yeah.
the most modern equipment.
They were used. There's someone upgraded.
This is like the
their system.
modified square wave type of inverter. Now they have the, the sine wave.
Right.
But it all works. And
Perfect.
we've never had to use the generator. It's always charged, even if we have a few days of cloudy.
These are solar panels, so we have 6 total here. And
6 total. I tried to match them all up because we bought 4 first
Yeah,
and then 2 later, but I couldn't find the same ones.
gotcha.
So the 4 lower ones are 185 watts a piece, and the 2 upper ones are 190 a piece. They
Perfect.
match up close enough to where they work. And then this system here is just for the well. The pump that's down there is a special pump that can run either on AC or DC
Okay.
and just any, like a wide range of voltages.
Right.
And so before we had the solar setup, we just put our generator and pumped water that way. And then we got the solar thing, the
Perfect.
solar panels, and it pumps through this black tank here, which has got a float switch in it. So it's
Yeah.
all automatic. When it gets down maybe 2/3 down, it'll kick it on. That
Okay.
way, if it's night when it kicks on, we're not going to run out of water. And then the
Right.
next day, it'll just fill it up. And then that runs gravity feed to the house.
This is the
And
actual
we have a little pump at the
wellhead
house to pressurize the house.
connected here, and then there's a pipe underground that runs to fill our.
Yeah, this is just
Yeah.
if you want to get some water out.
Gotcha. And then also on the back side, there's also some rain catchment on the back side of the house.
Oh yeah.
The well is your
This is well
primary
water
source
in
of
this
water.
tank, and that catches
Okay.
water off the roof.
Right.
Which we use for our trees and
Which
our
for trees
our
and
plants
watering plants.
Yeah.
watering, and that will last us all.
And we
the way
get those
through the
down in
rainy season.
Mexico at a fraction of what you pay for storage tanks up here.
Yeah, you're only 8 miles from the border, so.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out the man cave.
Man.
The man cave.
We were given this trailer from a friend of ours, Deb, and it was just gutted and used for a studio, so she had to move and she was just going to leave it, and so she gave it to us and we pulled it out here This
Yeah.
is gonna be my studio. And then I decided, just for a little project, that it's got a back door, so I decided to make a little L shape and then a little building coming off, which is cob, total cob. And it's got a rock foundation and everything. The roof, I did experimenting with papercrete, which is shredded paper soaked in a barrel, and it's all mushy, and then you put Portland in there, and you make a mush, and you put it over a wire structure. Another practice for a different technique.
For sure.
This is the lounge.
This is where
Derek
Derek
is
lounged.
sleeping, but usually it's the couch and the...
Yeah, this is a
Right.
futon that flips up into a...
I had to put a post in here because I screwed up and I didn't make the metal structure stiff enough, and so the papercrete was caving in the roof, so I had to put a post in. So I decided to make it
into a tree.
into the tree of life thing or
Perfect.
whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I put a little, I found a little pot-bellied stove
Perfect.
on the trading post thing. And then this goes up into the trailer, which is my little shop area.
Little work area. Nice. That is awesome.
And so I got my little hangout area.
Yeah.
It was more kind of just a little class for me on different alternative things that I didn't get to try on the house, and
Right.
play with the papercrete and different stuff like that. And then lime plaster I kind of learned on here.
Let's go. Oh, did Baba get locked in? And one thing that when you're living in southeast Arizona, there's a lot of what's called sheet flooding, and you'll notice that these canals that we've built in, it's kind of a form of simple permaculture. The water comes from up there and it races down here. This catches it and it takes it out to plants. We have others here, we have others in the front yard. Solves the problem with no big expense except shoveling.
Out of the wall from
Show them
shower
the
there.
instant heater.
Oh yeah, the instant
this
heater.
here, from the tank that's filling, this pipe gravity fed to here, where there's a pressure pump to pressurize the house,
Yeah.
and then the
On-demand.
on-demand water heater, tankless water heater. Yeah, simple.
Simple stuff.
This is the gardens. We're still in a very big learning curve with our gardens. This is the summer garden because, as you can see, this won't get sun all year long.
Right.
So
all winter long.
all winter long, excuse me. This is for summer. And this gets pretty hot in the summer, so we take the plastic off and put shade cloth. And it gets down in the 30s.
This is mostly to keep mice out because they've been
Yeah.
just killing us. Any kind of
Right.
lettuce stuff we grow on the ground is just eaten.
Right.
We've got chard and kale and collards and arugula and cilantro, and it's coming along really well.
We're still at quite a primitive stage of our gardening, so we're
Right.
on the learning
We're still learning.
Absolutely.
curve.
And then the trailer is just kind of like a spare
It's-
kind of room
yeah.
for guests and
We were given that as well. It
Yeah.
had the roof caving in and stuff, and Bob redid the whole inside. And it's our little guest trailer, so people can stay in the warmer months, stay there, and in the colder months, they stay in the man cave where you stay. But this is where we had a different trailer at the time, but we lived.
It was pretty much in that spot.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
in that spot and hooked up to our septic and hooked up to our well. And so that's how we survived the building of our house. Because it got to 7 degrees that year, so we were really motivated to get the house done
Yeah.
and ready to sleep in at least, because it
Absolutely.
was cold.
That's too cold.
Yeah, too cold.
It's a
with
little
no
nippy
heat.
out, yeah.
So, and it got very hot in the summers. So that's
That's the house tour.
kind of the story there, and we're loving it every day. We're
Yeah.
happy we did it. It was a lot of hard work, very physical. A lot of people do it with groups of people. We chose not to because we were such novices at it. But after doing it, it's the best thing we ever did. And we
Yep,
came
and now
out of
we're
it.
living. We have no electric bill, no water bill,
No
trash
mortgage.
pickup,
No mortgage.
sewer,
Yeah.
just pretty much internet,
We've-
telephones,
And
Yeah.
speaking of garbage,
property tax.
we
which is
have a
that.
composting station here.
Yep.
And this is, we put our vegetable matter and leaves and green grass that our neighbor brings us, that he mows, he cares for our
Perfect.
house and brings us that. And one is processing. This one is processing now, and this is the one we're adding to. And then in the springtime, we will take this out and sift it and put it in our summer garden, and this one will rest and we'll start a new one over there. So you're constantly making soil and worms, and
Yeah.
it's wonderful soil. It's just like velvet.
And if we ever learn how to garden properly, we'll
Yeah.
We'll be using it to adapt it.
And you guys did this, like you guys weren't spring chickens when you built this house. Like you,
I was 51 when we
Yeah.
started.
And I was 56 when we started. I'm 62
amazing.
now.
So inspiring. So inspiring. That's so awesome.
Well, anybody that has the desire and the physical ability to do
Yeah.
it can do it. It's
Right.
a lot of people naysay and say, no, you can't get through it, it's too hard. And
Yeah.
the key is to keep it simple. Get something that you can live in so you're comfortable, and if you want to expand after that, that's the
Yeah.
time to do it. Don't start out with a huge project. You will find that you can live in a small space very nice, especially if you're just two people. And so,
Makes it a lot easier for sure. So
yeah. And that would be our main thing, is don't overreach yourself at first. You can always add on, you can always build more buildings.
right.
You can always, sticking to your first simple plan is so much less expensive than changing your ideas in the middle. Be sure of what you want, stick with it, and keep
Yes,
it
you don't
simple.
waste your efforts. And
Yeah. And then your efforts definitely show for it. You have a beautiful house that's essentially costing nothing every single month, minor maintenance and minor costs, and you really opted out of, I guess, the typical way of living, right? But
Well, in Cochise County, you are required to have a building permit, but you can opt out of the building codes, meaning that as you do each of your systems, they don't have to be,
electric, plumbing,
Yeah,
you don't
they
have
don't
to have
have to be
inspections and
inspected,
permits for
which-
each
Sure.
thing.
everything costs money to do that. So that's one of the reasons that we chose Cochise County, because it's known for that. And
awesome.
it enabled us to do it our way instead of
Right.
by the book.
Yeah. I'm just so amazed and so impressed. This is so wonderful, and it's something that is obviously, it's very doable for a lot of people.
Well, there's an actual community out here in the valley. There's more than just us. There's a lot of people that are coming in, even people our age and older, that are still wanting to do these kinds of things. The community is very giving here. Everybody wants everyone to succeed. We have kind of a network, and when somebody needs something, we can usually hook them up with somebody that has it. People share things. It's a wonderful community feeling. There's a lot of people really behind it.
That's amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us around,
very
Karen
welcome.
and Bob.
Anyone that has questions or wants to, email us or call us,
Yeah.
that's totally fine. We'd be happy to hear from you and encourage you, because you can own a house without dying of debt. And that's our big message, is you can do this. It's doable.
Thank you so much again, guys.
You're welcome.
And this is, I think a lot of people will be inspired and totally excited. And
Cool.
because when people can see something and see that it's actually done, and you're living out here and you didn't divorce because of building a house together.
And we
then-
have met many people.
Yeah.
The guy that was giving us the plaster coloring and stuff, he was talking to me on the phone. He's in New Jersey somewhere or something, and he was saying, yeah, I lost 6 years and a wife doing it, but that was because he
Yeah.
overdid. He had a
Right.
huge plan and they couldn't finish, and she got tired. And keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much again, guys.
Okay.
All right. Bye.